faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses.
Some causes of homelessness are poverty, lack of affordable living, mental illness, substance abuse, and domestic violence.
I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny.
Well, because I am thankful for everything I have, and I would love to help people that are less fortunate.
Well, I've been going to church here all my life, and it's a program that the church supported. I've got the time in the mornings to handle this very easily, so it just seems like the right thing to do.
I like to give back to my community, so that's why.
Oh, I have no idea.
I know the statistics are in the 5,000 range, plus or minus a couple of thousand.
Oh gosh, a few thousand, I think. Yeah, a lot more than we think.
I think it's when they keep getting hit, you know, they get better and they're getting their feet on the ground, and then something happens, and then they just get into a downward spiral. That, you know, when they can't get a break is when it's tough.
The not knowing what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis, and how hard it is to something that we consider very simple, to make it to a doctor's appointment. We hop in the car and go. You know, they would have to find a clinic. They have to figure out how to get there best. You know, do they have less money? Do they have to walk? It's, you know, something that takes us 15 minutes will take them 4 or 5 hours.
I guess just the instability of it all. You know, they never know where all their stuff is. They have to constantly get new IDs. They have to constantly get new clothes. I mean, they lose their stuff or get stolen, or it's just very unstable, I think, is basically what it is.
Oh, all kinds of dangers, like safety. You know, this girl just told me today that she got stabbed, and I mean, I think mostly safety.
There's frequently, you know, they don't have any place to store the things that they do have. You know, another big issue is many of them need medications. And again, medications are going to cost money, even if they're subsidized.
Health dangers for sure. For them, I think it's the biggest, not being able to get medications, and just the stress of that. Stress does so much to us, mentally and physically, and being under so much stress all the time is going to be harmful.
Dangers of homelessness. The dangers of homelessness are abundance. I feel that disease is a big problem with that. I feel that because we take advantage of all the things that we can do normally, such as washing our hands every day.
10 being the hardest, I'd say about 4. No, I mean 6. Yeah. Okay.
So pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. It can happen, but it's far easier if they've got a support system that's going to help them through the process.
It's probably, I don't want to say impossible, but we make it a lot more difficult than I think it really needs to be. It's just a process that we have set up in our society for stable people, and we make them try to fit into it. And like, you have to have a permanent address to do, you know, to get a job. You have to have all these IDs and different forms of identification, and a lot of that you have to have an address to get that. And you have, I mean, it's like catch-22, you know. We have all these rules set up, but they don't really have a way to fit into that with their situation. And a lot of times their situation is because of mental instability and they need to be on medications, and we make it even worse because they can't get that.
I think it depends, because I think a lot of problems with homelessness comes from mental disease and drug addiction. When it comes to those two aspects, I think it's a 9.5, because those are two problems and mental illnesses that are really hard to come by. For those who accidentally fall into homelessness, I know depression is a way to go, but I feel that to get out of homelessness from that standpoint, it's easy to go get a job at McDonald's to get a little bit of income. Or you can use what you know to try and get back into school.
They sometimes do. But lately I've been trying to just look them in the eye and smile at them, and sometimes I have a bunch of granola bars and I give them out, so that doesn't bother me. And they're very thankful when you give them something.
When I give to the homeless nowadays, like on the corner, I give food. I don't give money, you know, I try to give food. I have actually given dog food to homeless kids. Because I mean, it's not the dog's choice to be the homeless guy.
Yeah.
You know? And so, different things like that. Houston, there was a guy who lived in the Woodlands. Do you know anything about the Woodlands? Like, it's a suburb of Houston. It's not a poor area of Houston at all. And what I heard is he would beg for money and make a whole bunch of money during the week, and then bring his kids out during the weekend to make more money. I mean, I think it's completely wrong. I think that you're using your children to make yourself look worse.
And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. But please don't cry, just know that I have made these songs for you. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. 'Cause I'm ready for the funeral.
I'm a program officer at the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. I used to work with the Emergency Shelters and Grants Program, which funds everything from women's shelters to children's homes across the state of Texas. And the mission for that program is to end homelessness. And go ahead, Julian.
No, I'm Julian Perez. I oversee the Emergency Shelter Grants Program now, and I'm a program officer here.
The Emergency Shelters and Grants Program is a competitive grant process that basically we take applications every year across the state, about 125 a year.
Yes,
we receive about 125 a year, and we fund about
usually between 74, 76 subrecipients.
And those are the ones that we take their application, grade it, and in their application they're describing what their mission is, whether they're helping battered women, teen moms, families in need of help, homeless families, stuff like that, and we fund those programs. It's very sad. Right now what we see is a lot more families, a lot more kids, a lot more teenagers in homeless shelters that weren't there before. Families that, since the recession over the last couple of years, families that were working mom and dad, it didn't take but one loss of a job, mom or dad lost a job, and so families that were living paycheck to paycheck before are now going through the system.
Mad world. Children waiting for the day they